On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, Kidder and I are sitting down with some Cocktail Jellybeans. The local geek gave them to us. Are they any good? We're going to give them a try, give them a rating. We're also going to lock in our predictions for WWE's Clash at the Castle. And hey, we're also going to talk a little bit of interesting news. Everything from what we've been watching to some stuff going on with the DOT. It's a great time. And we'll have some laughs. And, what more could you ask for going into the weekend? So sit back, relax. You're in a good place. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and the Mark Kidder. Pour a cold beverage, pull up a seat, enjoy time with friends.
Triple B! Well, the Triple B sucks. Okay? Oh, come on.
Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast that only rolls 20s. I am your host, the living embodiment of Charlie Brown, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the Mark Kidder. Kidder, how you doing tonight?
Well, Howie Blues, I'm okay. And I got to say, that's a lot of D.
It is. And, I got to say, Kidder, it has been a week because it has been such a week. I actually forgot that I've been trying to get that new nickname of yours going,
Nope.
The Mark Truckin' Kidder.
No.
Yeah. Listen, I got to try it at least 3 times to see if it sticks, That's
I don't think it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, we'll know for sure when we get all the feedback from our fans saying it's not working. I would just also like to remind everybody listening to the show that your silence is considered as consensus. So if you don't say anything, it sticks. That's just the rules.
Say no. Just say no.
Yes, it has been a week. I have been looking forward to, the weekend and to having a drink. So I think we should get right to the drinking. And so let's just hop to everybody's favorite segment of the show, and that is What's on Tap. Kidder, what you having tonight? What's coming out of the Triple B fridge?
Well, hell, I don't even know. I suppose this is one of the last Dicktown ones, the old Dickinson Brews. So we may as well open this one up. The S'mores Porter. I don't know if you have this one, if you're doing this one as well tonight. Did you have this one already?
It's still up in my fridge. I'm parent in charge this weekend, so I'm having something else that you gave me, but not that one.
Okay. So this is the Phat Fish Brewing Company S'mores Porter. It's a malt beverage with natural flavor and caramel color, a seasonal 12 fluid ounce can at 5.6% alcohol by volume, and we're squatching with this can. Other than that, Phat Fish Brewing is located in Dickinson, North Dakota at 1031 West Villard. Yeah, I think this is the last one I have to try out of all the bounty that I brought back from Dickinson.
Yeah, that's my last one to have as well. So that's I'm looking forward to it. When I was in Denver, gosh, about 5 years ago, I had they called it a Yeti, but it was a s'mores dark beer, and it was excellent. So I have high hopes for this one.
I could see drinking this next to a campfire. I'm not really getting the sweetness from like the marshmallow, but there are the caramely notes, or caramel, if you will, and lots of chocolate. No graham cracker, but very stout. So it's a solid 3. 3.01, in fact, to just put it above the other threes.
Nice. Nice.
It's a little thick, too. Good. All right. What do you got?
Kidder, this is something that I have been excited for, and I've been saving it for a night where I'm parent in charge, because this has been highly reviewed by everybody who's had it on the show. And this came from you. This is from the Thirsty Street Brewing Company. It is their Lemon Drop American Sour Ale.
Woo! There it is.
Yeah. I've been waiting. I'm looking good. So excited for this. It's 5% alcohol by volume, 22 IBUs, made with Amarillo hops and lemon peel, crafted to reduce gluten. And yeah, we, as you know, if you want to know more, there's a website. There you go. So yeah, this is out of Billings, Montana. So good old Montana. But I'm excited because everybody has enjoyed this on the show. So smells good and sour. That is good. That's got a nice sour punch to it, a nice little bit of lemony afternotes to it. And yeah, a little bit of that beer hop kind of right on the back end, but it's not overly powerful. That's good. I don't know if it's my favorite sour, but I'm going to enjoy drinking it tonight. I would probably rate this, Kidder, probably a 3.8.
A little below the others, I think.
I think it's just because I like it when I have a sour that it has a little bit more notes to it than just like a lemon. So I want a little bit more out of it, but it's not bad. It's, this is going to be an enjoyable drink. But yeah, I would agree. I'm probably on the lower end from what you guys have scored it. So, but hey, a good brew. A good brew out of Montana. So, hey, speaking of kind of the whole Montana and that side of our state, I don't know if you saw the news or heard the news, Kidder, but apparently there's some talk about putting in an interstate from Texas to Canada and running it through the Theodore Roosevelt Expressway, whatever the hell that is.
Yes! I-27! Let's go! Let's get it! Then we have 3 interstates. Yeah. Practically Minnesota.
I mean,
we don't want to be those assholes.
Yeah. It's I'm interested because I can see that saving me some time once it's built.
Yeah.
As somebody who has to drive up to Williston constantly, if I could take an interstate to get up there, speed my travel time up, I could be down for that. I could be really down for that.
Yeah. Now, how far west are they putting it? That's the real question. Is it going to be like I-29 and straight up the border of Montana? Or is it going to be somewhere near Highway 85?
I didn't read the article.
It was vague.
But I would almost guess that you would follow like 85 would be my guess. Because, especially if it's supposed to run through kind of North Dakota and the national parks, you would have to go up 85. Otherwise, you're over, in like the beach area. And even then, beach, you're still 30 miles away. You could go up through Dickinson, but then you're 30 miles away. So if you're trying to connect it to the national park, you would think that it would be probably Belfield. So, and you'd follow 85, but that would be...
it'll have to go on the edge of the major cities because there was enough room when I-94 and I-29 went in where it was built along the edge, and then the city grew around it. So I would imagine it'll show up probably on the outskirts of Dickinson and then curve over to Williston.
That would make sense too. You know,
because there's two major cities. It's just like Fargo, Grand Forks.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting to hear more information about it, but we'll see. And that's not even the only like transportation like news like that's going on, because I know we haven't covered it on the show, but there's a group that is trying to restore rail service kind of through the southern part of the state. So Amtrak would run kind of from Fargo to Bismarck to Dickinson, Medora, and out into Montana. And it sounds like there's some good movement on that too. So
that wouldn't be terrible because, I mean, rail service should be down here as well, like it used to be, right? I mean, I don't know what the popularity is anymore. Are Amtrak trains constantly full? Are they like 70%, 40%? What is the capacity level at right now? Is it even needed in the day of airlines? Potentially for a cheaper alternative, but with cost of building this.
Yeah. Towards the end of my time out in Montana, because Lefty and I, we would ride Amtrak back because, like when we'd come at Christmas time, great to ride the train back because you didn't have to worry about like a snowstorm and getting snowed into a community. The train pretty much always goes. It's very rare that it gets held up by snow. So we would take the train. And especially towards the end of our time out there, it was kind of when the oil boom was going on here in North Dakota. It was seeing a lot of use. It was booked pretty solid. Since then, I don't know. I don't know what the use is. But like when we first started out there, it was full. But again, we were traveling kind of at popular times. So... But I think there's people who like it. It's an experience, for anybody who hasn't gone on an Amtrak kind of train ride. I would say try it. There are some advantages compared to flying. There's not security, so there's not long lines with that. You have a bit more space, and they don't limit what you can bring on. So, like when we would travel, we'd bring a cooler. We would just make our lunch, have our lunch as we went. Also, because like the food on the train was kind of expensive, so it made for a little bit cheaper alternative. But I enjoyed it. If you had to be on it overnight, it kind of sucked. It's kind of like sleeping on a bus. Kidder, I know you've done bus trips back at our high school. That's kind of what it's like sleeping on that if you don't have your own college. Like room. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't always great. I once had a lady wake me up on the train because I was snoring too loud.
That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Anybody doesn't know, Howard Blues snores like a John Deere tractor. Missing a carburetor too, or a muffler.
I'm pretty sure it's one of the early models.
Yeah. I'll admit it. Yeah, I snore. Most people do. So, but yeah, I mean, that's all like interesting news, at least on the whole travel. It's the other interesting thing, Kidder. I was talking to a gentleman over in DOT because I now have a lot of contacts over in the Department of Transportation with my job. It just happens. I ran into one, and we were chatting about some of the stuff going on in Medora, and they're trying to widen the bridge on Pacific Avenue, which is the one bridge on the one main street through. And they put it out to bid, and they were not able to get a single person to bid on doing this bridge work. So they're having to try and figure out how to, what can they do to rebid it and get it out there. But, they're under a lot of pressure, kind of like we are, because, the Presidential Library is coming. For anybody who doesn't know, they are building the Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library out in Medora, and our governor is like full bore behind it, and he's pushing a lot of people to get a lot of things done out there. He wants it, the roads done and ready. He wants us to be at the top of the line on stuff. It's kind of crazy. So it's keeping us all busy. Keeping us all very busy. So, but hey, man, transportation news. We don't usually dive into that too often. We're definitely getting old.
Well, here's something maybe interesting. I don't know. And I don't know if you knew this, but in college, I took a 499 level class, which is a master's level class for urban development.
Yes, I did know you took this.
Remember that?
I do remember you taking this.
So this is why it's funny to me, because I'm like, oh, urban development. I have an interest in building cities like Sim City or city skylines. I got an A- in the class. A master's level class. I'd never taken another class like that. Like leading up to it. Had no basis. They're all looking at me like, why are you in this class? I needed something in this tree of things, and this was appropriate, so here I am. Let's go.
Yeah. I miss SimCity. I don't know about you. I'm surprised that has not come back or been.
It's because of the last one from 2013 or so. They royally screwed that one up. And then City Skylines came out and was way better. Now the problem is City Skylines 2 came out and fell into the same trap that SimCity 2013 did. They tried to re-engineer the wheel instead of upgrade the original game where everybody has mods and improve and do things like that. And they had a massive revolt. I wish Rude Boy was here so he could tell us about it, because he bought the game. And there's, I think a multiplayer aspect, which the last SimCity game had a multiplayer. And the two of us were actually playing the same city, building stuff, changing stuff, and that was a good time. But I don't know where it's at, how it is, or how it's going. It's still on my wish list that I never got around to buying it.
Yeah. I had no, real interest, because I think you guys had explored it a bit and had kind of already determined that it wasn't that great. So, because didn't it really limit where you could build? And
yes, your map size was this big. It was very small.
Yeah. And the thing is the fun part about it is trying to build your city, and develop it and such way. Yeah, I always liked SimCity. I was a little disappointed that it kind of unfortunately disappeared. So it's a shame, but I'm always surprised that somebody else hasn't really tried to pick that up. It sounds like City Skylines kind of did. Try and pick up that concept and run with it and just do an awesome, new SimCity.
Mm-hmm.
But
Now, City Skyline has admitted that they sucked and screwed up the second game a lot. And they vowed to make it better, do better updates, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And is it going to happen? I guess we'll see. But the game's already been out for a while. If you stall a minute, I can pull up my wish list and see how long the thing's been out there.
I can definitely try to stall. Let me stall by telling folks what I'm painting. I'm working on a few objective markers for War Machine. They're all pirate themed. So they're just kind of fun. This one's a treasure chest. You can see there's a little, if my camera will ever decide to focus, it did for a little bit. It's got a little octopus on it. Focus. There we go. Yeah, it's got a little octopus on it, some piles of gold. They're really, I know I talked a little bit about Privateer Press and the fact that they now, all of this goes to Steamforged Games. But I have to say, like, towards the end here of them being in charge of everything, they really were coming up with some really nice sculpts and characterful sculpts and all of that. So hopefully that continues, because there's just that'd be fun. I'm still waiting on that to hear what they're going to do with Monpok. There hasn't been any announcements about that. They're kind of just focused in on War Machine and Hordes. So, and that said, I also hope that they do some stuff with Hordes, because I always liked Hordes a little bit better than War Machine. I wasn't quite as big a fan of big stompy robots as much as I was giant monsters smashing into each other. So, but yeah, that's what's on the old Howard Blues painting table and what I'm working on as I sit here and chat with Kidder. And I think that was hopefully enough stalling. So back to you, Kidder.
Thanks, Howard. Thanks. That was a lot. So I almost wish it had taken longer for me to find it, because that was some good stalling. So the game was released October 24th, 2023. Officially. I think there were some things that you could have done to get early access to the game, but there's mixed reviews on the game. There's almost 40,000 reviews on the game. Not recommended, not recommended, not recommended, not recommended. Yeah. One review posted at the end of May, and I quote, username Senor Queso.
Great name.
You can find this on Steam. It's like being promised Wendy's, but getting McDonald's. Still good, but not what you hoped for.
Wow. That is not only a great review on City Skylines 2, but an interesting also dig at McDonald's. So,
well, I don't even really know it's a dig, because he said still good, but not what you hope for. You know what I mean? Like, you get in the mood, like, I'm going to Wendy's. For me, I'm like, that spicy chicken sandwich, maybe the fries, maybe an extra spicy chicken sandwich, maybe some spicy nuggets with some ranch, tall Coca-Cola, ready to go, the Frosty on standby for afterward, chocolate, of course. And then you're driving there and like the drive-thru's closed or the restaurant's closed, and you're like, well, McDonald's is right there. I guess I'll have McDonald's. I enjoy McDonald's. But not what you'd hope for. You got yourself all built up on a couple spicy chicken sandwiches, some spicy nuggets, some ranch, and a Frosty to top it off, and then you're out of here.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I've never really been a huge fan of Wendy's.
Get out.
That's a Howard hot take for you. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's terrible. It's just not my like. If we were together and you said, "Hey, let's go to Wendy's," I would have been, yeah, okay, fine. It's not like I would rebel. It's just it's not my favorite, which I think is a fair assumption, or not assumption, a fair opinion. There we go. Words, Howard. Words.
I don't even know what to say to you. It's like I knew you, and then you do something like this.
Shaking it up, man. Shaking it up. So, yeah. Well, no, those are definitely not great reviews on that. So, which is sad because I think the first game was pretty well reviewed. So it's like, just do better. But I think that happens to like almost every game company. Like when they start doing sequels, like they just eventually go like too far. And it's like, instead of just giving us what we want, which is more of the original, you're trying too hard to like add in all these features we didn't ask for. The Arkham games did that. Arkham Asylum was excellent. Arkham City was better. Arkham Knight, people kind of are like, yeah, there's too many Batmobile races in it. It's like, why did you add a racing element to this? Nobody was saying, you know what I need in my Batman game? Car racing. Actually, I don't even know if it was like racing. I think it was one of those, and I can agree with this, Kidder, because I think you might feel the same way. It's one of those like timed races where like you have to hit the checkpoints in like certain amounts of time, so it's like you make one wrong little error and it's like, well, there goes that run. I got to do it over again. I hate those time trials in games. Not my favorite.
Yeah.
I know there are people who love them, but that is one of my least favorite gaming mechanics. What are some others, Kidder? What are some of the game mechanics that you can't stand? What are things that when they pop up in games you're just like, man, I have to do this?
Well, we remember the 007 moves in a few of those 007 games where you had to do the exact thing, and then I went did it just to get it.
Yeah,
that was annoying. I hated that. The driving in Modern Warfare games. Like, I think they made it better eventually when you had the big maps to actually drive vehicles. But remember the old driving in the storyline? You'd hop in the Jeep and you're driving, and it's like, remember that?
Yeah.
Like, that I hated. The inability to skip tutorials or videos.
Yeah. Not being able to skip a cutscene.
Yes.
I totally get it. Like maybe the first time you're playing through a game, okay, you have to watch it. But when it's like your third or fourth playthrough, you're just like, I just want to play the game.
Yes.
Yeah, like I get that. How do you feel about escort missions?
Well, they're never the fun kind. Let's be honest here. It's never one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm happy to be doing this. Then escort. It's yes, in case you haven't caught on. Okay. Yeah, because they're always slow. Like their balls are dragging on the ground. And then you walk too far ahead and they stop. Or they don't stop. They keep going. They get killed. They aggro a bunch of enemies. There's so many issues. I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Are you a fan of stealth in games? I know some people hate
Why are you asking a loaded question like that?
For just to continue the conversation. I already know the answer,
okay.
but it's just
Interestingly enough, had this conversation literally last night. Brought up Splinter Cell, Metal Gear Solid, and Ghost Recon. Some of them where you have to do strictly stealth. I just want to go blast stuff, man. Don't penalize me for killing everybody like I'm supposed to. I just didn't do it the silent way. They're all dead anyway. What's it gonna matter? They're all dead. Who are they gonna call? Ghostbusters? They're gonna take them away too. Like, they're screwed either way. So yes, Pippin, Big T, and I were all talking about that last night. Oddly enough.
Yeah, I actually can enjoy a stealth mission if that is a known element of the game. And I say that like the stealth stuff in the Arkham games, fantastic, because it's really just a nice puzzle where you're moving about the room and taking down enemies in cool ways, and it's short and it's done. And I like that one. Sly Cooper, one of my favorite game series. Stealth is a big thing on that, and it's good. What I hate is, when all of a sudden it's like, and now, here you are, you're playing Call of Duty, and now you're going to have a stealth mission. Don't get seen. It's like, okay. Because it never fails that there's always like some guy who you didn't see, but somehow they saw you. And it triggers the alarm, and you have to start it over for like the 5th time. So,
yep. Just awesome.
Yeah. The other mechanic that I hate, and it shows up in a lot of like Bethesda games. I really don't like games where it's like you have to make a choice, and based off your choice, you're going to get one thing or the other. And I don't like that, because it's like, well, yeah, I don't want to have to make a choice. Because then because what happens to me, and this is it, is like I will get presented with that situation, like in like an Elder Scrolls game, like you catch somebody doing something they shouldn't be, and you can either tell the person, who sent you looking for them, or you could just pretend like you never found them. And you then sit there and go, I don't know which option is better. Because, like, morally, I don't care. Right? It's like, it doesn't matter to me what this person was doing. But, like, I care, like, what is the thing I'm going to get from that? And so then, like, I'm like, well, okay, let's get out the phone. Okay, which reward is better? Or it will have things where, like, you chose this action. This whole quest line is now dead to you. You can't go back and do it. It's like, well, that means I have to play this game again and get to this point so I can do the other quest. It's not my favorite thing. I will say, Kidder, since we're speaking of games, Junior and I have been working our way through Lego Batman. Did you ever play Lego Batman?
Maybe. That one I didn't mind. I remember watching video anyway.
Yeah. It's for the most part enjoyable, but there have been a couple of boss battles where I've had to look up, like, how do you do it? Because there's, like, you can't figure it out, and there's, like, no clues whatsoever, like, what you're supposed to be doing. And it's like, well, I think I'm doing the right thing, but I'm not sure. Let me look this up. And yeah, that is kind of the one thing it's like, man, I don't know how you would have played this game any other way. Because I think you'd have had people who were just, like, frustrated if you didn't have the internet to go and look, how do I beat Mr. Freeze?
You have to go back and watch the movie again.
Nobody wants to suffer through that.
Come on, Howard. Chill.
That's one of those where, man, you'd almost would have thought we wrote it for as many puns as they had in that movie.
Listen, Howard, you're skating on thin ice.
Yeah, just let it go, man. Just let it go. I know. That's
Go where? Below zero? I don't even remember paying attention to most of the movie. I don't even know if I've seen the whole damn movie. That's how, from my perspective, that's how silly this is.
I mean, well, what's silly is putting like Arnold Schwarzenegger as like the brilliant scientist Mr. Freeze, and not like some powerhouse character like Bane or Killer Croc. It's kind of one of those where it's like, that's an interesting choice. A very, very interesting choice.
I can't even. I'm just going to move on.
Please do.
That'll be best for the show. Move on to what? I don't know. Watched Die Hart 2 with Kevin Hart and John Cena.
How was that for you?
That was something. You would not like the movie, I don't think.
Yeah.
One of those movies.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I saw a thing for it. I'm like, yeah, never gonna watch that. So,
watch The Fall Guy. Have you seen the previews for that?
I have seen the previews for it.
Ryan Gosling.
Yes, playing as a stunt man who has to find the main actor.
Yeah,
that's as much as I've picked up from the trailer.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I think that you may as well, having that itch of cinematography and film in your background. I think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out if it shows up on one of the streaming services I subscribe to. That's so. Since I don't get to movies much these days.
Yeah, good thing is it is streaming now. So,
wow, where is it streaming at, good sir?
I think you can rent it on the various platforms. I don't think it's available for free quite yet. Maybe. I also haven't really gone looking for it a lot.
Okay. Well, I was just asking. Yes.
I've seen all the ads for it.
I'll have to do a little research on it. So, wow.
Pretty good. Enjoyed that one. There's another movie with John Cena in it, but I did not want to watch it because the trailer, watched maybe 20, 30 seconds of it, and it did for me to not want to watch it with one of those types of movies that you don't like to watch times 1,000. I felt. I don't even remember the title of it. But it's new on Amazon.
Okay. Duly noted. I'll avoid that one too. We watched the missus and I. We watched actually TV a couple of nights this week. We finished season 3 of Bosch. It's a pretty decent season. Wasn't bad. A lot of brooding Bosch in that season. So
your favorite?
Yeah, You kind of get just a little tired of it, but it's not bad. They do a nice job with kind of everything that's going on and such. We started season 4, but my wife fell asleep during that, so we had to stop. But we also finished season 1 of The Mandalorian, and that was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Okay.
So you might actually enjoy The Mandalorian, Kidder.
Maybe. I've thought about perusing it.
I think you would enjoy it. It's not overly Star Wars. You know?
Do they all die in the end?
Oh, some of them do.
Cool.
Some
I
of
might
them
like
do.
it. Rogue One.
It's written by Jon Favreau. So, and so if you've enjoyed, well, yes, you haven't watched any of his Spider-Man movies. So it's really good. But Iron Man, he did the first 2 Iron Man movies.
Yes.
So if you enjoyed those,
Yes.
you would probably enjoy The Mandalorian.
Definitely not Madame Web.
Yeah, he didn't do those.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, he did the first Iron Man movie. I think he did the second one. I don't think he did the third one. But he's kind of the guy that kicked off the MCU in a sense. So, but he does a nice job with Star Wars, with The Mandalorian. It's got just the right kind of amount. Like, you could watch it, and if you didn't really know Star Wars, you'd be okay. It's kind of just a decent then like sci-fi series. You can kind of pick it up. But you've seen some Star Wars, so you'll be all right. But yeah, I think you'd enjoy it. It's got some good action. It's got some good comedy in there. So
the only movie that I haven't seen is Solo.
Solo wasn't bad. I think Solo had some real production problems, and that made it it is probably the weakest of the new stuff that's come out. I would say that pretty convincingly. And the sad thing about it is it's got one of those like cliffhangers that's like, clearly we have an idea for a follow-up. And then it did so poorly that they're like, and we're never going to touch that. And you're just kind of like,
yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, like The Mandalorian, I would say, if you can tolerate Star Wars, you would probably enjoy that. It's pretty well written, and as I said, some good action and all of that. So.
Yeah. I haven't said no.
Oh,
So that should tell you something.
I mean, look, I know how much you like Star Wars, right? I wouldn't be recommending it if I didn't think you would get some enjoyment.
I know.
Not
Not hating on it, because there's plenty of people who have been misguided over the years, so I get it. But anyway, CSI Vegas, the latest iteration of CSI, canceled. Don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know it, but I'm not surprised.
Sure. Not because of bad ratings. The ratings were actually very good. And it was on, I don't know, Wednesday night or Friday night or something. So middle of the week, which moved from Sunday to the week. That's how good the ratings were doing. They canceled it because they need to save money. And I haven't watched the finale yet, but a cliffhanger happens in the finale. Never going to get solved.
Yeah, I really wish that they would make up their mind with some of this stuff and just really determine, like, if they're going to do a second season of stuff, and it's like, oh, if you're not, great, let's wrap it up. So if this is the last season, we go out on a good note. Instead of, there's so many of these shows, it's like, and they leave you with this cliffhanger, and then it's like, the show's not going to happen, and we'll never find out.
Yep. Yep.
That bugs me to no end. It's why I think I like things like Bosch. It's like, it's 10 episodes. It's a complete story. Yes, they leave some threads open that they could explore in the next season, but it's not like, if it got canceled, you'd be like, oh no, we'll never find out. It's like, oh yeah, well, we have an idea, or at least we have closure on most of the stuff that's pertinent.
That's a piece that bothered me with Discovery in the final season, because they were really trying and they had a lot of elements, but there's a lot of wandering and a lot of unnecessary garbage, like just crap. And then on top of that, they're sitting there trying to figure out how to wrap all of this up in 2 episodes. Thankfully, they made the final episode an hour and 45 minutes. But the whole back half an hour of the show was there to wrap up the entire series and what they had originally planned to do in a season 6 to make the show make sense. Half the people weren't even on the show because they had other commitments, and I don't know how that scheduling changed, but half the people were different. Half the people shouldn't have been there. And it was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not the best.
Which is always sad, It's
yeah. Makes me very scared for the upcoming series, Starfleet Academy. Because yes, they're still pushing that. It's going to be in the same timeline year space as Discovery. And they're already casting people.
Since we're talking Trek, Kidder, I ended up watching this interesting little video. Just it came on while I just had YouTube on for background noise, and it was about series that had like disappointing finales or finales that really didn't work. And they brought up Enterprise. And hey, spoilers for anybody on Enterprise. But if you haven't seen it by now, too bad. But they brought up the fact that the Enterprise stuff was all just like a holodeck replaying. And I just kind of was like, I wonder what Kidder thought of that.
Nope. The whole thing was not. You're watching the series as it happened. And they've, a lot of them have admittedly said that they screwed up the finale in making it that, because that was the finale. And it was supposed to be an offshoot from another episode of Next Generation, The Pegasus, one of my favorite episodes of TNG, in kind of a retrospect for William Riker and what does he do in that situation. And he's going back, putting himself into the Enterprise and interacting with the crew members of Enterprise to kind of get ideas of what he should do in this situation that he's involved in. Not a good finale in that sense.
Thanks for correcting me on that. As I said, it was something I was just kind of on and I was just kind of listening to. So
yeah.
But I was just kind of curious on your take on it when I was like, that seems like something that Kidder would not have enjoyed.
It it was bizarre because you're watching it and then all of a sudden, what the hell are they doing there? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, the season 4 of Enterprise is a shortened season. Some of the best work in the entire series. Fantastic. But you also need to watch other pieces of the show so it makes sense. The Time War was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't really watch much of Enterprise, so I can't really give it much of a rating or such. But yeah. This is a good sour. I'm enjoying this.
Good. You being a Netflix subscriber, July 1st, you will have access to Star Trek Prodigy Season 2.
I didn't watch season 1.
Well, I'm sure that's there too.
Yes, it is. And I haven't watched it. No plans to watch it.
I will say it's not a kids show, but it's a great introduction into kind of the Trek world.
Yeah, no, and it has nothing to do with it. Like, is it a kids show or not? I have such little viewing time. I just don't know that I would spend any of it on that. Maybe one day, someday, but not for a while. I'm trying to get caught up on stuff that I like. You know, Lefty and I have been trying to watch all of the Marvel stuff that we're behind on. I've been trying to catch up on the Star Wars stuff. Plus, we watch Bosch. Plus, I've been following the Geo Wizard on his race across England. It's which he's doing well. You know, I think he might make it this time. So it's interesting. If you aren't watching that, no, you should. If you haven't ever watched a Geo Wizard straight line mission, I actually, Kidder, at work, I actually have been having his old straight line missions on just in the background, and I forget just like going back and kind of listening through his first one, just how terrible he was at the first. Like you could see, like he has matured, and how much he takes this stuff seriously compared to the first time. In the first one, he goes like 100 meters off the line, so he doesn't have to swim across the river. And nowadays, like if he goes more than 25, he's like, I'm out of the platinum range, and just interesting to see him go through that and stuff like, yeah. So it's interesting. Well, Kidder, man, we've been talking about a lot of stuff. We do have something fun that we teased last week that we would do. The local geek gave us each a package of Cocktail Classic Jellybeans. So, this comes with gin and tonic, margarita, mimosa, mojito, a Moscow Mule, pomegranate Cosmo, a pina colada, and a strawberry daiquiri.
Very interesting selection of these here. Non-alcoholic, naturally and artificially flavored.
Yeah.
The package may not contain every flavor. What kind of garbage is that?
Yeah. Product guarantee. Your Jelly Belly confection items should reach you in excellent condition. If not, we will replace them free of charge. Okay, yeah, I thought that might say something about like quality control or such. Anyway, I think we got to work our way through these, Kidder. We do know that the local geek had these when we had the beer jelly beans, and he said that there was a flavor in here that was just terrible, but he didn't tell us which one.
I'm going to guess the pina colada because it's coconut.
I mean, I can see you saying that, so I'm going to try and get myself a handful of these. And let's see. I got there's some gin and tonics. I can't tell if that is a margarita or a mojito. I have a pina colada. I got the mimosa. The strawberry daiquiri, or no, that's the good. Yeah, that's the daiquiri. There's the Cosmo.
Oh, man.
Man, I got a lot of gin and tonics. Okay, so I'm missing.
That's what I'm seeing over here, too.
I'm missing kind of the mule and the. Okay, there. We got some of the mule. I had to pour like half the bag out.
Yeah, I might as well pour the whole damn thing out.
Okay.
Where do you go?
Okay. I got what appears to be like 2 or 3 of each one, so I can have a full taste bud experience. I gotta figure out what to do with this handful of other jelly beans. You could tell, folks, that we were prepared for this.
Absolutely prepared.
Yeah.
The epitome of broadcast professionals.
Okay. I just opened my
Gin
bag
and
up.
tonic? Top
Gin and
left?
Yeah, let's start at the top left and work our way down. So
I'm taking 2. Okay, all right. You're R2, so.
yep. You can really taste the pine.
It tastes like sugar. And pine, I guess.
Okay, Kidder. What would you rate it?
It's not terrible. It tastes like one of their other flavors. And I can't recall which flavor that is of the regular Jelly Belly.
I'd give this I'd give it a 3.5. We use our traditional rating scale here on the Triple B.
I'd go with that as well until the aftertaste. That's a little extra.
Yeah. Yeah. Kidder, we didn't think about this, but with all these jelly beans, we almost need a palate cleanser, like a shot of whiskey. Just wanted to work that in while we were. Okay, so I think we're on to margarita,
And that's the dark green.
I'm guessing that's the dark green. So I got the dark green here.
Okay.
If it tastes like mint, it's a mojito.
A margarita.
Mm-hmm.
A little limey.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say, with weird flavors like this, I would hate to just like take a handful and shove them in. That would be terrible.
Yeah. I'd give this one like a 3.8.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. It's like a 3.8.
Nice. Nice flavor.
Yeah.
Palate cleanser.
That was enjoyable. Okay. I got the mimosa, which are more of the orange color.
Take 2 of these and call me in the morning. Definitely orange.
Yep. Whoa.
There's the champagne.
Yeah. That like sneaks up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a great way.
Nah.
It kind of goes from like a nice orange to like bitter.
Yeah. Yeah. Very bitter. That mimosa's been outside a while.
Yeah, that's a 2 for me.
1.7.
Okay.
Not that good.
We are on to the mojito.
The light green.
Yes, the light green.
Here we go. Kind of looks like the pear Jelly Bellies.
Yeah. Very minty. Very, very minty.
I do like the mint. That's what I like about mojitos. Just not the rum.
Yeah.
And the rum never hit me there, so that one was okay.
Yeah.
Like a 3.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was at. Was a 3.
Okay.
Okay.
The mule.
The mule. I'm excited about this one.
Okay.
Well, I tend to enjoy a good Moscow mule, so hoping these are decent.
What I also enjoy with the Jelly Bellies, of course, is that, well, of course, it's upside down, but, and I don't know where that went. Okay.
Alcohol abuse.
All right. I found it. That they have the Jelly Belly logo, right on the jelly bean. I mean, it focused once, but there it is. Yeah. There you go. All right, Moscow Mule time.
Yep.
There's the ginger right away.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't get too overpowering, which is nice,
Yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah, if you like the ginger.
Yeah. That one was pretty good. Like a 3.2.
I'd go a little higher. I'd go about a 3.5.
All right. Yeah, the aftertaste in that is really the nice ginger beer mule, little whiskey right there.
Yeah.
Maybe vodka, depending on your mule choice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, I know these are non-alcoholic, but it's got just a nice hang on that just makes you feel like you just had an actual alcoholic drink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
I like that one a lot. Okay.
Pomegranate, the pink one.
We still haven't had one that like was local geeks like, ugh. So it's got to be one of these 3.
Well, I'm still betting on the pina.
Yeah.
It's very pomegranate-y.
Mm-hmm.
It's just berry-y.
Yeah.
Like little pieces of pomegranate in it.
Yeah. I don't really get like the same like fun drink taste that I've had with kind of all of the other ones that we've had. So, like, flavor-wise, it's fine.
Yeah.
But for this, it's just, it feels lacking.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to rate it lower. I'm going to rate it at 2.
Oh.
And it's, again, the flavor is fine. But it's like, they've done such a nice job with, like, the Mojito and the Moscow Mule of catching the alcoholic, taste of those. And that one just to me, was pomegranate. So,
yeah.
All right. Kidder, the one that you have been dreading the most, and that is the pina colada. Because Kidder don't like no coconut. So
I'm going to let you try it first and see if you die.
Bottoms up.
I think I'll wait till last for that.
I mean, that's definitely pina colada. Very coconutty. Nice taste of pineapple mixed in there.
Thanks for taking that one for the team.
I like it. I'd give it, probably like a 3.2.
If you like coconut.
If you like coconut. For you, it's probably a 1. Or unbearable.
0. I'm going to leave that one on there. Oh, look, a strawberry daiquiri.
Yeah, let's hopefully it's more than just strawberry.
Strawberry.
That is just strawberry. I'm going to guess that I'm going to guess that Local Geek was reacting to the gin and tonic.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that one being the most bitter of all of those.
Yeah. I didn't mind that one. It's basically strawberry, but kind of the same thing that you were saying about it being just the flavor and not the alcohol.
They did not give me a lot of pomegranate.
3.
They really did not mix these well.
I got a ton of pomegranate, at least in what I poured out.
I think I have grabbed all 4 of my pomegranate. I also did not get a lot of the mojito.
Yeah, the mojito ones were also pretty sparse.
Yeah.
Well, we tried.
Yeah, well, and Kidder, I decided I got a little brave, although I did drop one.
Just put it anywhere.
You know, that's how it goes. That's how it goes here on the Triple B. Wouldn't be a drink from the Local Geek if I didn't spill it. Kidder, here we go. I decided I'm going to try this. So I got a handful.
No.
I have
one. No. He's
I have
rouletting it.
I got a handful of, I have all the flavors. I dug them out, one of each.
Oh.
And because I said it would probably be terrible if you mixed these. So bottoms up.
Say something, Howard.
I'm trying. I got a lot of gummy beans. Gummy beans, jelly beans in my mouth. It's interesting because you get different notes popping up. So you get like a bit of the pine, and then a little bit of the orange of the mimosa, and a little bit of the ginger, a little bit of the lime. It's not bad, but I think if you're doing something fun like this, you want to be able to taste the different flavors, much like we just did. That wasn't really like enjoyable, but it wasn't like painful. On the good side, Kidder, when you do it that way, I did not taste the pina colada.
Nice.
So, may I suggest, Kidder, that you pawn off all of those pina coladas on the missus?
Maybe.
Nothing like taking a drink of a sour right after.
Oh, that'll just dynamite your taste buds.
Yeah, but I'm almost done with that. And Kidder, I think we're almost done with this show.
Almost. You know what happens tomorrow at noon Central Time?
I take a nap. No, I don't really.
Okay, you old bastard. Jesus.
I gotta sleep off all these jelly beans I ate.
I'm super drunk on all the sugar from those jelly beans that said they're alcohol from last night. Here, get off my lawn. No, it's a Clash at the Castle 2024. The latest WWE Premium Live event.
Didn't we just do one of these like 2 weeks ago?
Almost. It's Memorial Day weekend.
It was only like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Well, this is taking place in Glasgow, Scotland. 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Time for the start, which means the kickoff is at noon, which means our bonus question straight away, will there be a match on the kickoff? Hell, they've done it before, so I'm going to go yes.
Okay, Kidder's going yes. I'm going to go no. No. And if people are wondering, wait a second, what are you guys doing? What do you mean bonus questions? Hey, Kidder and I have been watching pay-per-views and now premium live events together for many, many years. We like to have a little fun. We make predictions. Who's going to win this match or that match? Sometimes we throw in bonus questions like this one that we just did. And why? Why? Because we are competing for the now defunct WWE pay-per-view bragging rights. Kidder managed to hold off all of my my good luck. What good luck? I'm the living embodiment of Charlie Brown. But he managed to hold the championship. There we go. That's what I was really trying to say.
The bragging rights?
Yes. These jelly beans have messed me up.
You're wasted.
I know. I mean, that was at least 8 shots. Well, 16 shots. I'm going, man. I'm going to be sleeping in the tent.
7 shots in the night.
Anyway, he managed to hold it through WWE's King and Queen of the Ring and AEW's Double or Nothing. So this is my chance to win it back. We're going to make some predictions. And probably next week, we'll probably go over the results. So with that, good sir, I think that's the whole spiel. Oh, and so tune in next week because penalty shots, because I do that when I get one wrong. How did I almost forget that part? Again, it's the jelly beans, man. It's going right to my head.
Yeah. The other piece that we should mention, another bonus question, will CM Punk appear and interfere with Drew McIntyre's match? Which I say yes, because it needs to happen.
See. So you're saying yes to CM Punk. You know what? I'm going to say yes as well. Because that would jumpstart a nice little feud for SummerSlam. McIntyre versus Punk.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You ready for the whole show?
Yeah. Break it down.
Okay. This is the supposed projected match order as well. WWE Women's Championship, your champion Bayley versus Piper Niven. Bayley.
Going Bayley. Triple H is booking. They're over in the UK. I don't think they're going to give Drew the title. Do they do this to win over the home crowd?
Even though she just won at WrestleMania.
I know. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go with Piper.
Whoa. Simmer down now.
It's probably a bad pick, but it's no fun if we pick the same. So I'm gonna go out on a limb that they're gonna give the hometown girl the win.
All right. Next up, WWE Intercontinental Championship. Your champion Sami Zayn versus a potentially leaving Chad Gable. Sammy for the win.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Zayn. I like Chad Gable a lot, but I think Sammy's the bigger star.
He's turning into a heel now. Kind of like when Kurt Angle went heel with the faction. That's what they're reusing again.
Oh, you're with Chad Gable?
Alpha Academy.
Yeah, I've seen some of that. It's not been great.
No. It's kind of tough to watch, to be honest.
Yeah.
Next up, WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Triple Threat Match. Your champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus South Dakota's own Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark versus Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. There's still the rumors floating around that Bianca is pregnant. And that would mean that she is at some point in the very near future going to have to relinquish title and stop wrestling. So, is this the time? Or is it another month? Probably this is the time. I don't know. Shayna and Zoe have been working hard as a team, and I don't know who Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are. I'm guessing that they were on NXT for a while. Probably tag team champions on NXT. Being overseas, I could also see them give this the championship change. Let's go Shayna and Zoe. Why not?
Okay. I'm gonna stick with Cargill.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume that it's just rumors.
Okay.
So
next up, WWE Championship match, an I Quit match. Cody Rhodes, your WWE Champion, versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles had a pretty good promo tonight on this as well, I guess, saying you quit New Japan, you quit TNA, you quit this other place, and then you even quit the company that you helped start. Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I figured you were going to go that way. I'm also going Cody Rhodes. I think it's going to be a great match. I just, I think they're going to run with Cody for a while.
Mm-hmm. And I hate I Quit matches.
I do too, because, and it's really because they start the whole I quit stuff way too early. And he hits him with a chop. You quit? Do you quit? It's like, let it build, Anyway. All right. So what brings us to our main event, I'm guessing is...
Yes. For the World Heavyweight Championship, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. I'm still thinking they're going to leave it on Priest. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been interested enough to really watch the content a lot. The promos here and there have been good, but again, I'm also like, that's me fast forwarding.
Yeah.
Probably like what people do to this show.
Yeah. I'm also going to go with Priest. They waited until Mania to give him the title. I think he should hold on to it for a bit longer. And I like your theory, and that's why I agreed on it. You get CM Punk in there, he screws over McIntyre. You build off on that, and you can do something else with Priest. So, yeah. All right.
Side note, there was a nice spread for an image. 4 people. Sean Spears, Ethan Page, and Lexus King. And Cody Rhodes walks in. It seems like you guys are in a good place. Interesting, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't mind the... But,
That's got to be the the next clip that we grab for when we update the intro. You're in a good place.
Well, I just happened to send it to you.
Okay, but you're the guy who's
what? Who? What? Where am I? What is this?
And on this mind erasing joke, I don't know. I didn't have a better transition. Kidder, we've been talking for quite a while. It's time we wrap this show up with some plugs.
Okay, let's get it over with. BeerBluesBS.com, our website. Visit now, visit often, buy some merch, help us out. Streamlabs.com/BeerBluesBS. Streamlabs.com/BeerBluesBS right there at the bottom of your screen if you're watching, or if you're listening, it's in the show notes. So, yes, even though I pointed down to the show notes, they're in the video, but they're also below this audio clip in the show notes. Please. Buy some pint glasses, buy some t-shirts. I even mentioned them on the radio. They're cool because it's been a week. Or maybe you'd like a water with hops and grain. That's cool too. Or the classic old-fashioned recipe, the only Kidder-approved old-fashioned. And that's the only drink that you should be having in the form of old-fashioned on this show or related to this show. Like us at Facebook, Instagram, follow us on all the audio platforms like Pandora, Stitcher, TuneIn, IMDb, Player FM, iHeartRadio, and many, many, many more. Just search for Beer, Blues, and BS. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook again. All over the place. In fact, any platform that you're on, just go up to the top and search Beer, Blues, and BS. Or Beer, Blues, BS. You could try searching either of them and bam! You see the Triple B logo, you smash that sub button, you hit that follow button, you're guaranteed to have a good time. Every time. It's like 70% of the time it works every time. So please help us help you. And you can subscribe on Streamlabs for as little as $1 a month and help a starving podcast host make it one more day. So please help us. Help us often. And with that, that's that. How are Blues? Final thought.
Not much to really put in as a final thought, except to say, Kidder, I found a little bit of extra time this week and managed to crank out about 9 brand new shorts. So more Triple B shorts coming out. And thanks to everybody who has been watching those. Those have actually been doing surprisingly well in the views. So, hey, if you came here because you saw us on a short and you thought, yeah, I want more of this, welcome. Thanks. So, yeah.
We appreciate you.
Yeah. We've gone up in the last 30 days, we've gained 8 new subscribers. So, hey, if you're one of those new subscribers, thank you. We appreciate you. Glad that you're here. Yeah.
It's almost like we had that planned, but we really didn't.
Nope. Because I just thought about what I wanted to say as a final thought as you were doing cheap plugs. So, yeah.
Mighty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's take it on home. Where's home? We're here. So for that, keep your glass at least half full. There's free beer tomorrow, and we will catch you on down the Clash at the Castle, Glasgow Kick at Tuscon Highway. Have yourself a good one. See you in the next episode of Beer, Blues, and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
Yeah, that'll be a good show. That'll be a good one. It's like 2 good shows in a row.
Can't do that.
Nah, we got to get somebody else in here to screw it up. I'll reach out to Big D. Yeah. I'll share this with you, Kidder, because Lefty and I thought it was kind of cute. Sitting at the dinner table, I was talking with my kids. Lefty was working, since she works this weekend, and we were just chatting with the kids about what we're doing this weekend. And I said, "And tonight's a podcast night." And little Miss just goes, "Aw." I go, "What? What's wrong?" She goes, "You stay up too late." And I'm like,
Okay.
You don't like it when I do the podcast because I stay up too late? Yeah. Okay. Dad promises I won't stay up too late. So Lefty said I was supposed to tell you, get her, we got to end this show, not too late because little Miss says so.
Yeah, we don't want to get in the middle of that.
No. Little Miss, now the future director of the Triple B. Give her a few more years. She'll be coming down here. Okay, you two guys, you've talked enough. Time to hang it up. Wrap it up. It's Dad's bedtime.
And we're like,
Aw, can't we stay up another 10 minutes? No, get to bed.
Yeah. Go to bed. Indeed. That's what I'm looking forward to.